Hi everyone and welcome to my place. Today's design is for me and I am calling it, wait till you hear this name, Rustic Informal Roadside Gatherings into a white tin can container. Why do I want this arrangement? Well, I'm going to do it in artificial because I think I want to keep this, but I love wandering. In fact, I might have been a gypsy in a past life because when I'm wandering around, I see this and I see that and I pick a little bit of this and I pick a little bit of that. So I start off with maybe just some lavender, and by the time I get home, I've got this array of all sorts of things. And I just love to get a tin and go whack, put it on my counter and enjoy it. Now I've had lots of requests from others wanting informal gatherings. Doesn't look like it's arranged, just looks like it's been picked and plonked. Well, I'm going to show you how easy that is to achieve. Now, when I was doing my training, there was this wonderful person that I absolutely loved and admired, and that was Constance Spry. And she was the one that said, the difference between a flower and a weed is just an opinion, and she is right. And if you don't have a garden and you've got access to wandering around the streets and you can pick a bit of this and pick a bit of that, who said grasses or toys or weeds couldn't be placed into a container to just simply enjoy? So bringing the outside in to love, and every time you see it, well, for me anyway, I'm reminded of, oh yeah, that's what I picked that there. I wonder how that's doing. I'll go back there next week and have a look. Anyway, stop, enough talking. To begin, and I think that what makes any arrangement look really lovely is the different types of forms. Like you could just use one type of gum, but how does it look when you add another variety of gum? See how the textures are starting to just build up? Now, just by placing that into there, I know that is going to be too long for what I want to achieve. So I'm just going to cut a little bit of that off so that I can tuck that down into the arrangement. And I love this particular eucalyptus with the wee gum nuts on it. It's just so gorgeous. Right, what else have I got here? I've got a couple of pieces of this. So I'm just going to bring that in now. I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, is that too tall? Well, actually about now it is a bit too tall. So I'm just going to whack a couple of inches off that, just so that I don't have something that's too sort of windy and wild. Now that's looking much better. The other tip from me is, if your tin has any kind of embellishments on it, make sure that that's facing the way that you want it, because I've done arrangements of late and thought, oh, it's back to front, or I've lost that beautiful detailing. Okay, the next thing I've got here is a little bit of Dusty Miller. Now I'm just going to bring that around there, and I'm going to bring the Dusty Miller down and into the middle. And like I've got this lovely movement and texture over here. I've got this texture over here, and I just thought that by bringing that dull form in between those two forms would be just a lovely beginning of a focal. Right, and look at that, I've got two. So I'm just going to bring that over to the back, and I'm going to let that just fall over there. It doesn't, as I said, this design is just like picked, gathered and placed. Right, what else have I got? I've got some lavender. So the lavender I'm just going to put in there. So you'll see I'm doing sort of like clumping things in. Now I've got this beautiful eucalyptus, so I'm just going to clump that down and into there, just to give another texture and another variant on that grey form. And look at this, I've got a couple of bits here too. So instead of putting them all together, I'm just going to mix it up a wee bit, and I'm going to bring those over to there. So it's still the same method of designing, where you imagine you've got an imaginary line through the middle. It comes back to, I'm going to have that there and I'm going to have that there, but I need to sort of like kind of drift that across, because I also want it to be viewed from all around. So we're getting there, I'm thinking. Right, the next to go in are a couple of pieces. Look at this here, isn't this? This is called Sandy Pine, and I just absolutely love it. Look at those colours into there. Even though it's artificial, I just want you to know it's better than the real, and it's not prickly. Right, with this, I'm just going to bring that down and into there, and I'm putting it close to the lavender because it's got a bit of lavender with it. Now see how that's just moving there? I don't want that to move. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to take just a few inches off there, and by bringing that down a little bit, it now that is taken into the container. So it's like a jigsaw puzzle. As you're going, it's like a little bit here and a little bit there, a little bit higher, a little bit lower, and it might look like it's being lost, but at the end of the day, it might not be lost. Right, now, I want to bring in a couple of hydrangeas, white hydrangeas, which now brings me to what this lesson is all about. Often people say to me, I've just got two of something, Esther, and I don't know how to make it work. Well, white, or this colour, and this are the same white. So you've got the white here, and we need to bring these in. So what you do is, you put one just a little bit higher than the other. So the eye hits the container and it drifts up and it goes around that lovely form there, and then it steps up. And then these little round forms here are all adding to this beautiful textural picture of a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So you're stimulating the eye of somebody who is watching it. Now remember, I've also said you've got to have small, medium and large forms of that achromatic colour. The best to use is these beautiful snowberries. So now the eye hits those, comes up, hits that, and it's got something to sort of slow it down, and it's also diffusing this big heavy white of the hydrangeas. Now I'm just going to bring two of those into there just because I feel like it, so that can go into there. And when you see the dustiness on the spirally eucalyptus, it sort of kind of mixes in quite nicely with that, as it's different, but it's sort of kind of the same. So I've got one over there, and I just think I'm just going to bring that over to there like so. So you see this big clump here, but it just sort of like whizzes across to this little form over this side. Right, now I'm actually thinking that I want something else into here. So I've got these beautiful blackberries. I've got two of those, and I just want to put in a little bit of depth into here. So I'm just going to bring those into there. So the eye hits the dark black of the blackberries, and it whizzes across here to the lovely sandy pine, and then that colour transitions through to the purple of the lavender, which I love. Now, I'm just thinking I might like to put a little bit more depth into here, and the way that I'm going to do that is to just bring in a little bit of this eucalyptus, just a little bit more depth of play, and just because, you know, like I feel like having a little bit more depth in there, and look what that's done to the arrangement. And I just think that I need another bit. Hold on, I'm just going to put that there. So there's no right and wrong way of achieving this. And if you think that this here is just a little too heavy, get your hands into there and just lift that up a wee bit so that you can see it. And now look at that. How easy. Roadside gatherings are my favourite. Perfect for a farmhouse, a barn house, just a little classic, a little bit of informalness to just brighten your day visually. I hope you've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed sharing it with you, and I look forward to seeing you another day. Goodbye for now.